The crucial question that everyone is discussing right now is whether tourism industry is on decline or is not on decline. While government figures say that the tourism industry is growing, there is a perception that the industry is not growing. So here we are asking the same questions to all the stakeholders, including airlines, including hospitality sector, including event sectors and others, to know whether this industry is on decline or not. We'll start with this basic question that everyone is discussing. Even if I open my Instagram, for last 1 year I have been watching these reels. कि गोवा तो खत्म हो गया अभी, there is nothing left in Goa. Okay, whatever is happening in Goa is आप लूटे जाओगे, you are going to be fleeced and you are gone. So to start with, I'll ask TTAG chief right now. गोवा खत्म हो गया है या और there are still chances when we are talking about challenges and change in Goa's tourism and event industry?
So I think there is a saying that any news is good news, and that Goa has been targeted so much, or so much information is coming in Goa, is a sign that people expect a lot from Goa. Now, I think we are far from Khatam. There's a lot, if you see the now type of investments which are coming into Goa, the new hotels being opened at a breakneck speed, there's a lot to go about Goa. But there are significant challenges that we face. And those are getting addressed very slowly, and hopefully that pace of being addressing them will pick up.
Okay, one more thing, as far as Taj is concerned, we have seen you all are opening a lot of more properties, you are taking or acquiring properties. While on one side, everyone is saying that Goa tourism is being, it's finished, nothing is left, or we are going to, hit a dead end. Taj is investing, that means it's not going to hit a dead end.
You gave the answer to it.
No, please
yesterday
elaborate.
we just took over clerks. So there would be an announcement which would be coming today that we would be adding 3 more assets in our portfolio in Goa. Till yesterday we were 37. Today we will be 40. And on the 15th, we also take over the Gateway Palole, which used to be a Sarovar. It is going to open doors as an IHCL assets.
So you have no complaints?
See, if I'm to talk about IHCL, it has grown. Year on year, it has grown. Of course, the significant jump that we had seen post-COVID, it has slowed down. Probably it's in a different aspect that you need to look at. Probably there was a revenge tourism at that point of time. Okay, rates were significantly corrected. And again, it is going through a correction as well. But as far as business is concerned, of course it has grown, at least for the IHCL segment I can speak about.
There is also debate about quality tourists, high spending tourists. People say we don't get high spending tourists, and you are owning most of the properties which are star properties. That means we are getting high spending tourists.
See, IHCL has a legacy of 50 years in Goa. We started with the Taj Fort Aguada, which stands 50 years. Sorry? So we have a client base, more than loyalty, we have a base which has been, when people come to Taj Fort Aguada, they say, okay, my father spent their honeymoon out here. Now, can you tell me in which room should I be? So we don't have that database to track it, but it has that legacy. Okay, so, and I'm sure my friends who are out here, weddings have grown. Hand to heart, everybody. What have we done prior COVID and what have we done post-COVID? Everybody out here, I leave it to the floor if anybody says that they have not grown. Of course, they have grown.
Everything is growing. Okay, I'll come to Qamarji. You represent event industry.
Yes, sir.
And before coming here, I did a bit of my study as far as your industry is concerned. It seems you all are very upset with Goa because there are a lot of licensing charges that you have to pay, a lot of agencies that are involved, and lot of things you have to pay and then only you can have an event.
True, very true. I would say, to start with, I think, how do I put it mildly? You know, any problem starts by actually acknowledging the problem. When I read statements in the news saying that Goa is doing extremely well, we're doing 8% further growth than what we've done last year and years before, the truth is, on ground, the figures are very different from what's the truth on ground. Goa isn't doing that well. You look at what our numbers are on paper, and you do the ground reality, you walk to every hotel every weekend, the story is very different. Yes, hotels like IHCL are doing well, but that you have to understand is it's a legacy brand. They've been here for 50 years, and they offer a hotel type for each price point, whether it's from Ginger all the way up to Exotica. So the answer is the hotels are not doing well. As far as the event industry is concerned, we have definitely done better in the last 5 years. Since COVID happened, there was, like you said, revenge tourism. I wouldn't call it revenge tourism. I think there was a lack of options for customers. People who travel abroad suddenly could not go abroad and had to do events within India. You look at options within India for multiple cities, where can you travel? By default, Goa becomes the most convenient. It has nothing to do with Goa tourism being excellent. It has only to do with convenience. And therefore, you had customers traveling to Goa for those weddings and conferences and whatnot. 5 years down the line, the answer to your question is we have a lot more people traveling out of India to Vietnam, Sri Lanka, Bali, Thailand. And those numbers are dwindling. You look at the numbers for April and May in Goa, below 30% occupancy. It's only because Pahalgam happened that those numbers of events that were happening abroad cancelled and were coming back to India. I work in the corporate segment. My business runs from February to September. That's my business, my peak season. From October to March, I don't do much business because the hotels are generally full of weddings. And that's the truth. Weddings booked 12 months prior, 6 months prior. Corporates travel within a lead period of 7 to 15 days. That's your business for last minute. And I have a lot of friends here who will agree with me when I say this, that our segment has done better in the last 5 years. It isn't doing well, and one of the major reasons for that is licensing. Not only the cost, but the confusion. There is major confusion about this segment. I mean, obviously we can probably elaborate about it later, but the long answer to your question is, there are challenges.
I'll come to you back on this, because there are so many agencies, it seems, that are involved. Everyone is charging you for...
There's a new business segment created called licensing. We didn't even know that existed.
Okay, now we have two interesting persons. One is someone who's giving us affordable tickets to fly, and another person who's giving us affordable taxi to be in Goa. So when there were complaints ki raste se many people are traveling by road, roads are getting congested, and then we have Fly 91 coming in. I heard they are giving most affordable tickets. So when I think you are in this market for last couple of years, especially from Mopa, you have gone to Chipi now. Wasn't it a risk for you to be in Goa at a time when the entire perception was that Goa mein abhi koi nahi aayega?
Yeah, it's an interesting question that you ask. So we have been now operating for about 17 months. We started March of last year. And we fly to 8 cities, and out of 8, 5 offer direct connections from Goa. Again, I don't have historical data to talk, so I can only talk about our own experience. I think from our experience, we have been experiencing extremely robust load factors of people coming into Goa as well as going out of Goa. And out of the destinations that we fly, we have a whole bunch of unique destinations. So, we are the first airline to connect Goa with Lakshadweep, with Jalgaon, with Sholapur very recently. And what we have started seeing is all these, and of course we fly into Pune and Hyderabad. We have been consistently running load factors which are in the high 80s and early 90s. Okay, and typically those kind of load factors indicate robust travel. Okay, so it is very difficult for me to look at the data and tell you that, oh, I don't think people are traveling. So I can only talk about what I see. Again, some of the sectors that I operate, I am not just the only player. So for example, I operate Goa, Hyderabad. Okay, I am one of 15 flights in a day. Okay, and you still struggle to get a seat on those flights. Okay, I am one of 5 flights that fly between Goa and Pune. Okay, and on the weekends, actually, I have 2 flights, Goa, Pune. And you will still struggle to get a seat on that particular flight. Okay, so obviously there is something right that is happening. Okay, otherwise people will not be, there's somebody who's traveling, correct? So from a pure air data perspective, data is not necessarily suggesting what we are saying. Okay, and again, we fly into Mopa. Okay, we also fly into neighboring Chippy. Okay, in fact, we connect 3 cities into Chippy. We connect Pune, we connect Hyderabad, and we connect Bangalore. And interestingly, a large part of the population that comes into Chippy actually travel into Goa, because they sometimes don't find affordable tickets, because we fly into Chippy on the government's Udan schemes. Obviously, there are very attractive price points available. So we find people actually coming to Chippy and then traveling up, because Chippy to North Goa is possibly the same time it takes to go from, let's say, Dabolim to North Goa. Okay, so I have a slightly contrarian view to what you are asking. And again, this is purely based on my own data. Okay, so I can't comment otherwise. I'm not seeing anything which indicates otherwise. So that is the, cities like Jalgaon, for example, the first time anybody's ever connected Jalgaon to Goa. Every day I struggle to get a seat on that flight. Okay, there are people coming from Jalgaon. They come, they're very happy, they're seeing the place, they're going around. You take the flight back, all excited about, Goa, lot of shopping. Now, of course, you can pick up your liquor at the airport. So, my flight is full of them, the people picking it up. So I don't know. So that's my view.
Okay, I just want to know about Goa Miles perspective, because right now when we discuss about tourism, in fact, I'm just taking this in a very segregated manner, because event is not linked to Goa Miles, and I heard that even now Goa Miles is also getting into, not into events, but trying to help events. So you are one of the most hated person in Goa, let me tell you, especially by those lobbies who are conventionally existing here, for 2 reasons. One is for introducing app-based taxis, and secondly for giving affordable taxis.
So let me tell you, you asked the question, is there a pain or is there a challenge, right? So we do have a challenge. It's not a case we don't have a challenge, but our challenge is a little different. It's not a business challenge. So I don't have a challenge as an opportunity. I don't have opportunity, and I can solve that. My challenge is different, right? And inspired by Modi ji, अगर हर दिन morning में 10 o'clock 10 kg गाली खाना है और उसके बाद काम करना है तो करेंगे. We do that, right? So the way we have carved the path from last 7 years, right? And it's a bumpy ride for us. It's a full with the challenges from all aspects. Not only the administration part and certain policy frameworks over there, but even from the different lobbies. I cannot take the name on this dais over here because everybody knows about that, right? But having said, the moot question is that, is Goa dying? A lot of myth has been spread by many people, right? And a different school of thought. And I agree with, certain set of people when they talk about that, let's say, a certain segment of hotels may not have occupancy. We also need to understand the capacity building happened in last 7 years, because when we entered Goa, that time the registered hotel, TTAG holds the accurate information with them. The registered hotel number was 4,200 and something odd number. Today it has crossed to almost 5,500, right? These are the registered player with the Goa Tourism Department. So when you have the higher capacity available, definitely the international tourism, everybody aware about that. There is an unrest into the northern part or northern eastern part, right? Because of that unrest, the more we rely on to Russian tourism, that has declined. But if you see the domestic market, it has increased like anything. And I second the thought what Manoj just said that, right? Because every month my footfall, because we are not limited to specific flight. By the way, we're also last mile connectivity partner for Fly 91 as official partner for them. So we cater all the tourists coming to Goa, both the airports. So we hold the information and accurate data for both the airport, Mopa Airport and Dabolim Airport. So every day, including both the airport, we are mobilizing almost more than 20,000 people as a Goa. I'm saying inflow of the Goa. You people might be surprised, in across country, what are 246 odd active airports what we have. There are 4.5 lakh tickets has been sold by Make My Trip, Go IBBO, or whoever the ticket players are there. Can you imagine out of 4.5 lakh ticket per day, 40 to 45,000 tickets are Goa bound, either from Goa or to the Goa. So we're catering to the 10% of the the country's air ticket flow. We cannot say Goa is dying for that. Yes, the opportunity has been segregated into multiple pockets, and the people might feel that I might not be doing better what I was doing in 2018. It's absolutely fine because it is segregated, right? And over the period, if you understand that the MICE market, particularly event market, across the globe, people are talking about it's 1.8 billion as a economy over there. And as a country specific, we are standing quite good in terms of the other destinations over there. When it comes to particularly events, conferences, meetings, or for that matter, exhibition, Goa is standing 6 to 7 number across country. And if you see upcoming challenger, let's say Ahmedabad is there, Pune is there, they're behind Goa in terms of as a challenger quotient over there. So Goa position, fortunately, I was browsing some information because we're actively working on to the MICE and event as a last mile connectivity partner there. 2022, there is a well-drafted policy from the central government. How we can empower the overall MICE industry in the country. Because hoteliers are part of that. It's a tourism ecosystem, one of the core pillar over there, right? Because when the MICE event happens or anything happens over there, hotelier has a role play, logistic has a role play, catering has a role play, sightseeing has a role play, government has a role play over there, right? So all these ecosystem partner coming together, how best can be empowered. So there is a well-drafted policy in place. And fortunately, current government, although it's a state government or central government, they are actively working on that, more focus on tourism part over there. So personally, I'm happy on the, the growth is happening across the nation over there. Personally, we might be a little disappointed about challenge, but the challenges are, very minimal as compared to the, kind of opportunity what we have. So sometimes we keep a approach to ignore them.
When we read these challenges and change, I think Goa Miles is something which comes in my mind because you have a lot of challenges right now. And also you have to bring in the change right now in Goa. As far as taxi sector is concerned, that is one thing you have not mentioned right now. As far as tourist taxi sector is concerned.
Let me elaborate, a little bit on that part also. So the biggest challenge, when I say we do have challenges, the change management is the first challenge for us, right? Now people says that, the people coming from outside will take my business. We all are talking here about the local ecosystem. We are all talking about that, how best we can empower the local people, correct? None of the player across the nation or across the globe, if somebody is bringing technology, nobody can snatch anybody's business. That's a myth. People, spread that myth just because of their political agenda or, their vested interests over there. This particular challenge is, my business and I need to have in my hand. In Konkani it says that, we need to maintain that business in local hands because it's there from the ages. No matter whether local develop technology, outside develop technology, or anybody develop the technology, right? That business, though nobody is taking the taxi out of the Goa, the taxi will remain with his hand. Goa Mile is a beautiful concept crafted and drafted with a principle zero commission strategy. It doesn't take any sort of single penny from the taxi driver pocket. But just because of the political will and myth, it has been spread in a bad way that this will take our business out. Where it will take our business out? Rather, now we are enabling and empowering the, the local taxi people in such a way. Goa Mile has deployed 20 people outside of Goa. I'm talking about Hyderabad, Bangalore, NCR, that is Gurgaon, Noida, Delhi, Mumbai, Pune, and other locations. And we're connecting to the MICE people in all these locations. Goa has a beautiful infrastructure. Goa has a state-of-the-art, facilities over here. You can come here and do the event. Just for your knowledge, I'm telling you, surprisingly, because I was talking to the MICE people also, 115 events we conducted last year. And this year itself, last 3 quarters, almost 25 events were completed, small or big, in terms of either capacity of 50, 55, even Taj also, we conducted, certain events over there, and we given the last mile connectivity for them. So we are now becoming the trusted last mile connectivity partner for them, and it is our agenda and objective, how best we can bring the quality tourism to Goa. You also differentiate that. Having a deep pocket doesn't mean quality, tourism. In my understanding, the quality tourism is that somebody come to my Goa, he will not litter outside, he will not cook on a roadside, right? But behave properly, behave sensibly. That's a quality tourism. You might enjoy the Goa the way, hinterland is there, the sightseeings are there, you can enjoy the temple tourism and other things over there, right? So the people who can contribute to the state in a very sensible and sensitive, sensitively to the, understanding the culture, I think that's a quality tourism. And we're trying to bring it to Goa.
Okay, so now we have with us someone who has brought glamour to Goa, someone right from Dil Chahta Hai to Singham. Movies are being shot in Goa. But right now, if I see, I don't think much of the movie, Bollywood especially, is attracted towards Goa. Is there any specific reason? And if we consider your sector as an event industry, what are the challenges right now in front of you?
I think out of sitting here, the panel, I think we should be having most of the challenges. It is starts from Panjim itself. Now, since we are into entertainment industry, everyone wants to get entertainment. They want movies to see. They want web series on TV or wherever. But nobody really wants to support us. Like as I said, my challenge starts from Panjim. Panjim, we pay almost 2.5 lakh rupees per day to shoot, but we cannot shoot actual Panjim. We cannot shoot in Kortini area. We cannot shoot in Fontaines area. We cannot shoot in Kampal area. Now, one road remains the main road, that is from connecting from Panjim to Miramar. We cannot shoot that because there is a lot of traffic there. So where there is place to shoot? Government is not doing anything. They should support us because they get such a lot of publicity as far as glamour. Matlab, everyone sees Goa through movies. How they got so much of business? Itna jo business mila hai Goa ko till now. Matlab, Goa, how? Because they see movies. I will give you a small example. Like other states, like say Gujarat for that matter, there is Amitabh Bachchan, who is a brand ambassador of that state. They must be paying bomb to Amitabh Bachchan to be a brand ambassador of that state. Plus, they must be showing that ad on the TV. And you know what are the prime charges? They charge you around 3 lakhs, 4 lakhs, 5 lakhs for that 30 seconds ad. And whereas in Goa, we show movies and say 3 hours, Goa, 3 hours, not 30 seconds. But still, there is no support for us to get things peacefully. This is one. Now, as I said, since we are in Panjim, we are started from Panjim. You go anywhere. You go any beach. Now, if you see Mopa Airport, I was just talking about Mopa Airport, there's a huge hoarding of Kabodaram Beach. Huge hoarding of Kabodaram Beach, which is very beautiful, nice blue water, green water and all. It's like any other foreign beach if you go and see there. But do you know, there is no approach road to Kabodaram Beach. There is no road which is connecting Kabodaram Beach. No, there is parking area. Now, because that land which is on the top, which is under litigation, people can still go. But once that litigation gets over, when court gives order, there will be no approach road for Kabodaram Beach. And they're advertising for Kabodaram Beach. You go to any other beach for that matter, there is no parking space. You go to Kiri Beach, there is no parking. Why we shoot on these beaches? Because there is a parking space and there is not much of rush there. We cannot shoot from Sikiri Beach to Baga Beach. It is crowded. But still, if you go to shoot, this shack owners, so-called stakeholder of the tourism, they create problems to us. They say, no, you cannot shoot here because if you're shooting here, my business will go. So from Sikkim Beach to Baga Beach, we cannot shoot. Again, same case at Anjuna Beach. So we go far away. Now, if you see that, the rates, what government has made now, it is exorbitant. Matlab, one cannot afford the rates. Now, I will tell you, I was shooting for one film called Deora. I do a lot of South films also. I can talk, no? Or,
please.
Yeah. So, I wanted to put a set for this Deora. NTR Junior was there, Saif Ali Khan was there in that movie. Big movie. So, I wanted to put a set. So, to put a set on the beach, you know how much I have to spend. I'm not talking about construction cost of it. I'm talking only the government cost which is implemented. CRZ is charging 1 lakh rupees per day. CRZ is charging us 1 lakh rupees per day. Tourism department is charging 12,500 rupees per day. Entertainment Society of Goa is charging 12,500 rupees per day. Local Panchayat is charging us 12,500 per day. Forest department is charging us 10,000. Because whichever beach you go, forest department says this belongs to us, so you have to pay here. So this is kind of amount, almost you can say around 2 lakhs rupees per day we are spending on. I'm not talking about, you know, how Panchayat people, they come and how they harass you. So they say they are benefit as well. So this kind of amount we pay and we should. Now this is changing because they have seen now neighboring state if you just go to Gokarna for that, Karwar for that matter, you just pay 5,000-10,000 and shoot. You go to here, Sindhurg, you just pay 5,000-10,000 and shoot. So who is going to come here now? Nobody will come. So in short thing if I say, is Goa is dying a slow death as far as film shootings are concerned. And we are getting so much of publicity. Publicity is there. Plus, we give so much of business. We give car business, within lakhs. We give business to 5-star hotels, we give business to 3-star hotels. So much of GST they must be collecting. I myself pay around 2 crores as a GST to amount to thing every year, annually. But for this to happen, government should support us, but we are not getting support from anywhere. Very sorry to say. But, and I'm telling you, maybe in some time, our business will definitely go to Karwar, towards Karnataka coastal, or towards, now it is not going just because there is no proper facilities there. There are no 5-star hotels, so there are no 3-star hotels. But slowly it's happening. So I don't think people will, because same beaches, those beaches are better compared to Goa. There is no crowd, and they are so silent that people are very cooperative. So we have many more challenges. I can go on, but I don't want to continue more. You can go ahead. Thank you so much.
Yeah, Suraj, I think next time we should have one representative of the government here who can answer to all those challenges that they are facing. And since this entire conversation is going very good, journalist in me, I have to wake it up now. And
now I want to tell one, since Goa Miles is here, we have such a lot, we have very huge problem nowadays what we are facing. You go to any 5-star hotels, south, north, wherever, any 4-star hotel, we cannot take our cars and pick up our people. I cannot change my heroes. For example, tomorrow if I'm shooting with Amitabh Bachchan, I cannot change his car every day. I have to give one car only and one driver only. I have a director who is there. He knows, because he knows my driver and he knows all the locations. But the moment I go there, outside the taxi mafia is there.
that is their basic problem right now. That's what they are struggling
Yeah,
with.
so then we are having many problems for this.
Enough said! Enough said, let's end. So I'm drinking in the rhythm, what you're feeling is the vibe. About to make a drink and wanna race it to the tribe. Minutes is the time when I'm drinking in the ride. Enough said, let's end. So I join the tribe. Enough said! Never see me cause I'm racing against the time. Wanna hear you scream. Never see me cause I'm taking what is mine. This your time, now you
Okay, so one more thing which I came to know, it's from the event side, that it seems all those 5-star and star properties, when there are events happening, this is very basic question, shouldn't be, but very important question, that laborers who are there are treated like slaves. They don't even are even allowed to use the toilets there. They are treated, they don't even have a proper place to sit and have their food. And I am representing Qamarji and putting up this question. You please start so that let them also answer.
Where do I really start? I mean, for an industry, so when I have new employees who come and join me for an interview, the first impression they have about our industry, that's an extremely glamorous industry. Our end product is extremely glamorous, but everything that happens behind it isn't. And unfortunately, a very big reason for that is the establishment that we normally go and do our events at. I know we are at a hotel, and at a well-reputed hotel, but the fact is, hotels really are inhumane. And I mean it, inhumane to another level. There have been hotels where staff is asked to walk down 500 meters outside the hotel, have a meal on the road. Even a beggar doesn't have a meal like that. And I've had to fight with that hotel, saying, I'm sorry, I'm not going to do the event and not start the event. And it's very common. Our industry works in the night. Whenever we do a setup, I know Debarchan's right here, so I will be very careful what I say, but probably not his hotel, but our setups happen in the night. We are working in guest areas and sometimes non-guest areas. We have security standing there, kicking people under the stage, behind the stage, saying, Utho jao. I understand when people are in guest areas, people walking by, I understand. How does it hurt someone when someone's sleeping under a stage? It's a very basic thing, but inhumane is an understatement. There are no washrooms on site. We pay convenience fee to hotels. We pay deposits to hotels for half the things we do. But in return, there's nothing coming back. I mean, this is just the tip of the iceberg. If you ask some of our friends, you'll get a lot more examples. A lot more.
I don't know who will be responding to that either.
Thank you.
First of all, let me remind you, Qamar has been an ex-hotelier as well. Okay, so
Yes,
now he's on the
yes,
other
yes.
side.
And I charged a convenience fee of 25,000 and offered them washrooms.
So, on a serious note, see, I would like to tell you two things. Number one is, yes, there is scope for development. Okay, saying that, I think this can be a point of discussion during the events. And, you know, our fraternity here in Goa is, it's a handful. Okay? So, who makes this arrangement? Is it the hotel who's supposed to do a washroom? Or is it the event planner who's supposed to do a biological washroom? Probably this discussion has to happen. Yes, it incurs a cost. I agree to it. There are some hotels that already has this infrastructure. There are majority of them that don't. There are some hotels which has even, you know, driver's accommodation and stuff like that. There are hotels that have, you know, facilities for laborers and vendors separately. There are majority of them that is not there. Number one. Number two is, see, though it might not be directly touching this topic, but I would also like to say, see, there is an event that happens called the Burning Man. Okay, that's an event which happens in a desert. And there is humongous structures that happens. Humongous. And after the event, everything is burned. And not even a nail is left there. I'm not saying they have the infrastructure. They have the infrastructure to dispose that as well. If we don't have that infrastructure, that is where this confusion comes. We say it is not my responsibility, event manager will say it's not my responsibility.
Can I say, just step in? Whatever we bring on site, whatever, we clear everything. There is a clear contractual clause that every event company signs with the hotel, and don't get me wrong when saying this. Whatever we bring to the hotel, even today we have done this setup, I have signed a contract with the hotel. In case I leave anything behind, I will pay a fee to the hotel. And we come and pay deposits. There are days I have 8, 9 lakhs every day at hotels as deposits. So whatever, and I stand for my entire fraternity, we go to every hotel as guests. To us, we're going to our friend's home, we do a setup, we make a revenue, and we're very thankful to the hotels. We make a revenue there, we go there, we finish our work, we clean up and I leave. If we do damage something, we pay for it. If someone does something untoward, we apologize for it. I, in my 8 to 9 years, and I can say this, I face this issue as a hotelier as well, and I can step in Debarchan's shoes and say this. When we were there, we understood two segments, weddings and corporates function differently. Corporates setups are smaller, cleaner, they come in, do their work and leave. Weddings, those teams are there for 3 or 4 days without sleep at times. All we request is, please offer us a space, whatever that space is, to eat a meal. Please offer a space for us to do the job.
So treat us
And
like
we will pay a fee for it. We end up billing the customer for it. Look at it, we're not paying it from our pockets. You charge us a convenience fee, we will charge that to the end customer. The customer understands. We're coming to your venue, we're working at your venue, and you need to offer us some facility, some.
Okay, so next discussion we can have on this topic. And I'm also liking this being a journalist that two people are disagreeing over something. So,
I'm not disagreeing. What I'm saying is it requires planning.
okay.
If somebody is willing to pay, anything can be done. And infrastructure can also be built.
Okay, we'll come to that. I think there is the last segment which will be moderated by Suraj. Okay, before that, Chacko sir, I just want to ask you, all this discussion around 2 airports that is happening. And 2 airports are not feasible for Goa. That is one, thought process that is going on. Do you believe that 2 airports are feasible for Goa?
I think actually it's very unique because Goa is the only place in the country where there are 5 functional airports in a driving distance of 4 hours. Okay, there is Dabolim, there is Mopa, there is Chipi, there is Belgaum, and there is Hubli. Okay, there are 5 functional airports. And if you look at it, all 5 functional airports, Chipi is the latest one, of course, we're just building it up. We haven't seen any significant drop in traffic because of anything else. In fact, if you want to look at a true global model, this is the part of India that is actually opening the eyes to other parts of the country, while they have all these concessionary agreements everywhere else. Like for example, if you take Bangalore, Bangalore has got, 3-4 airports can thrive beautifully, but artificially it's constrained at one place. Hyderabad, artificially constrained at one place. Okay, so I think there is lots for the country to look at. Like one of the reasons why Fly 91 came to Goa was because we found this uniqueness. Okay, so today, for example, when I have a weather issue and I need to divert, I don't have to go back to Bangalore or go back to Hyderabad. I can actually go to one of these airports, okay, and recover my aircraft very quickly. So again, if you look at Mopa that's come up, like today we fly both into Mopa and we fly into Chipi. We're actually planning to start flights into Dabolim as well. Okay, very, very soon we'll be announcing some flights from Dabolim. So I think there is more than enough traffic, and I think there is more than enough opportunity for all these airports to coexist, and it only helps you boost traffic more. So I think it's a global model that's actually coming out here, and we should actually take pride in that. Yes, it will take a while for it to pick up, but that is where you start offering customers choice. So today, if I have a flight, let's say coming from Hyderabad, I got somebody coming from Hyderabad. If I'm going to stay in Palolem, okay, I'll take a flight to Dabolim. If I'm staying in North Goa, I'll possibly take a flight to Mopa, correct? That is the way people are going to start thinking going forward. So I think it's a good thing. Of course, there's still some way to go, but I don't see one getting sacrificed for the other at all.
There is this perception that airlines are responsible for making Goa as a very expensive destination. What is your reaction to that?
I don't think why should
dynamic pricing, sometimes flying to flying abroad becomes cheaper than flying to Delhi.
Yeah, so it actually the argument works actually the other way around, to say that when Goa is doing so well and the demand is so high, our natural increase in dynamic pricing, and obviously our dynamic pricing also gets mimicked by the hotels. Yes, the destination does get unaffordable at times. Like for example, you got the 15th August weekend coming in. Correct, say the long weekend coming in. Say the pricing is crazy. Like I myself am getting out of Goa in my car. Okay, so I think we need to, so these are the way, if you ask me, these are not bad problems to have. I think this is a reflection. So actually this reflects the fact that things are not as bad as what we think it is to be. Yes, there are definitely challenges for sure. I think various elements, like, we heard the challenges of the film industry, we heard the challenges of MICE, but again, the same, and it's not unique to Goa. It's not unique to Goa. So, for example, the challenges what he spoke about MICE in Goa is the exact same challenge you have when you do a wedding in Bombay. Okay, or when you want to shoot a movie on Juhu Beach, correct? So again, I think as a small place, it is important for us to look at these issues. Obviously, we got to look at the issues, but I think it's also about responsibility and sustainability in the long run. For me, the responsibilities of bringing a sustainable tourist to Goa. So that becomes my responsibility. But it's equally the responsibility of that restaurant owner, okay, to ensure that he treats that customer well, that he wants to come back to Goa again. And I think those are also elements that we need to talk about in the larger ecosystem, because the ecosystem is not restricted to just the airline or the hotel or the taxi operator. Yes, Utkarsh is in the news for all the reasons, say for all the right or wrong reasons. Okay, but that's one very small part of it. And this is where you got to learn from, places like Spain, for example. When you walk into a restaurant, you walk into any restaurant, the smallest to the biggest, the pride with which that restaurant owner, and I'm just picking a restaurant as an example, correct? He will ensure it's the best quality food. It may be the cheapest restaurant, but he'll still ensure that the quality is there. He takes the pride of his country, takes the pride of his village, correct? That is something which we find it in bits and parts in Goa. So there are a lot of people, restaurateurs, for example, I'm just picking restaurant as an example, who have that pride very nicely written out there. And then you got a whole bunch of guys who say, hey, tourist here, give them anything. And like there are some parts of Goa where I will never walk into a restaurant because I know they treat you like a tourist. Okay, so I think these are much more deeper elements that you need to get into. And that is when you start scratching the surface, all those pieces start coming in, is that it is not just the responsibility of the operators concerned, not just the responsibility of the authorities and the government. There is also a responsible for local partners, restaurateurs, the guys who do water sports. There's so many things. People come to experience 100 things, correct? All of them need to also take this responsibility very seriously. Sorry, I digressed my answer, but I just
No.
wanted my train
Good
of
you
thought.
raised the topic so that I can ask Jack about this. Jack, you're also on a task force right now, state government's task force, which is working on reducing
The tourism
making
board.
Goa Tourism's board.
Yeah.
And also they have a task force which is working to reduce, expenses in Goa, so that Goa should be a very less expensive destination. So what they say is that more expensive means things are going great.
Yeah, so this expensive thing is, I think, like Matthew said, it's a bit of a misnomer. Like I was just reading, there's a climate summit going on in Brazil. Hotels which were selling at 4,000, say less than $100, 50 euros, now are selling at $4,000 for that. So this surge pricing happens all over the world, and it's something that is reflective of industry anywhere. So I wouldn't say that Goa is a particular thing which hotels or airlines make it expensive. At the end of it, if the hotel manager doesn't show occupancy or the airline is sold as an unsold seat, it is perishable inventory. He's not going to get that revenue back. It's going to reflect in his numbers. So I wouldn't say hotels and this thing, but there are a number of legacy issues because of which Goa remains expensive. And some of them reflect the cost of, there's no food growing here, food is coming from elsewhere, your materials are coming from elsewhere. There is a general perception, and Goa is a more expensive place to do business. So I would say that the cost is determined by the market. When the market rates will drop, when market forces show that there's not enough demand. I would just like to come back to a few things which were there in the earlier discussion. Qamar made a number of interesting points which Matthew and Utkarsh also came up with. So I'd just like to take out the data for this. A year back, there were 7,500 accommodation units listed with the Department of Tourism. I think they've gone up to 9,000, but I don't have the exact breakdown of that. But out of the 7,500, The department classifies you in 4 categories. A category, B category, C category, D category. A are normally of 5 stars and slightly below deluxe. There are around 92 hotels with 10,000 room inventory here. B category is slightly lower, 3 star to 2 star. There are around another 14,000 room nights here with rooms here with around 300 hotels. The remaining 7,100 hotels, and this is a legacy issue which comes from our charter days, are in C and D categories. Most of them have 10 rooms and an average size for C category, and D has 4 category. So these guys, which are around 55,000 rooms, which have an inventory of 55,000 rooms officially, are the guys who are getting hit by this changing customer. Now let's look at the other numbers which come in. There are, as per the Department of Tourism, last year there were 10.4 million tourists who came into Goa. This is from January 24 to December 24. Out of this 10.4 million people, 9.9 million were domestic tourists. They say there was a growth of 22% on this compared to December 23. 4.67 lakhs, that's 467,000, were foreign tourists. This is a growth of 3% on 23, but this is still 50% below of what we were in the pre-COVID days. And this year, that is the half year from January to June 2025, there have been 5.4 million tourists. So if you see in 2024, things were relatively good, except now I'm coming back to this foreign tourists. These were the tourists which would support the small C and D category hotels all along the beach belt. These were the guys who would come on charters, they would stay for 2 weeks in the hotel's only job was to see that the guest checked in, at the end of the checkout, he raised a bill and the money would come to him. These are the guys who are suffering the C and D category, and they're the ones who are shouting out loud about tourism declining, and they have a genuine reason about it. Coming back to the numbers, Qamar pointed out April, May was bad. So if you see that we have had only 5.4 million tourists this year, there is no growth in numbers compared to last year, because if you take 10.4 versus 5.4, it's a very marginal growth. And yes, going forward, there are going to be challenges which are going to need to be addressed. The Nuisance Act, which was passed in the state government, was a welcome suggestion, is a welcome act which has come because touting will now be taken up. The Honorable CM has announced at ONGC that we should have a 5,000 capacity convention center. So that is another industry demand. So slowly by slowly, things should improve, but we have to move much faster.
Okay, so in the last segment, I just want all of you to set agenda for the government, so that we can tell them this is what is expected from each of the sector. So I'll start with Mr. Borkar. You have a lot of complaints. So tell us what government can do to make sure that your sector is happy. First of all, do you want Film City or not?
Film City happening there will not help at all.
No Film City. In Kankona, you don't want?
No, it should be somewhere closer to the airport. See, people who are coming, they will not like to travel so much. Now this film industry, what they are making, that will be in a loss. Maybe only politicians make money out of it. But I don't think the filmmakers will take it. Because from Mopa, if somebody is coming and then they will travel for 3 hours, they will not like it. They will not travel first. They say either nahi jana. So that will not go.
So Film City has to be somewhere.
It has to be see, there was one minister called Sheikh Hassan Harun, Industries Minister, some years back. From that time onwards, I'm hearing that the film city is going to happen in Goa.
This time they are serious.
They are always serious. Not. So it is happen is good, but it will not work. If you ask me as a cinema person, but I don't think it will work for that matter. You ask me some question.
Yeah, set agenda for the government so that.
As I told you just now if I am getting 5,000 rupees one location in neighboring states, why people will come here? So they should definitely reduce the rates. CRZ, there is nothing called CRZ in other places. Why we have to pay 1 lakh rupees a day? Even event guy must be paying 1 lakh rupees for putting 4 lakhs. To put this thing, even if you want to put one bamboo in the sand, we have to take permission from CRZ. So which is exorbitant. This should not happen. They should take some this thing so that it remains. It is not only about, they should look into actually tourism department should not charge us for that matter. Because we are giving so much of publicity. Goa ja rahe, Goa. 3 hours they are saying Goa. Why they should charge? 12,500. That much the benefit they should give to the producers, no, so that they can come here. There are so many state like MP, UP. You go to Uttarakhand, they give you 30%, 40% subsidy. So why not have do it here? Everything is going expensive, as these people are saying. The hotel rates are. So if everything is expensive here, they are getting benefit. Means matlab they are getting GST out of it. But still they want money from us also, which they should avoid. Because
So-
we are giving much more publicity to them.
So
As-
make
as a-
Goa better shooting destination, affordable shooting destination.
It is not affordable at all now, if you see.
So
If
you mean to say, I mean to say, you want to,
Yeah,
the
they should
government that
reduce.
they should make it.
See, earlier when we started, I started my film shooting profession in 1990 from Agnipath, one movie, which happened when Taj is there now, Taj convention. So there we started from 1990 onwards. I'm doing it. So that time
That
how
is
much?
Amitabh Bachchan or
Correct.
Rajnish.
Amitabh Bachchan, this thing, Mithun Chakra, all those people. So that time, you know how much we used to pay? 300 rupees for half day, 500 rupees for full day shooting. People won't mind. Then one fine day, Wilfred Issa became tourism minister. So the file is to go to them for getting permission. So he said, "Itna come, make it zero." So he made 3,300 to 3,000, 500 to 5,000. Okay. Then they made it 6,000 rupees a day. Then they made 10,000 rupees a day. 10,000 we only told because every time we were harassed by Panchayat people. So we said, okay, tum 4,000 give it to Panchayat so that, they will not come. But it didn't happen. We charge it. Now, now new IS officer comes, they don't know anything about it. They don't take us into consideration. They do something and they increase the rate. Now, for example, Captain of Ports, whenever we wanted to take Santa Monica boat for that matter, or any yacht for shooting, we used to just take the yacht and shoot. But now they have made that you have to take permission from Captain of Ports, which is 50,000. 50,000 to pay Captain of Ports. Plus, we have to pay another 15,000-20,000 rupees to enter into Society of Goa. So, plus we have to pay for yacht. Yacht, you know how much they're charging? They're charging minimum start from 15,000 to 60,000 rupees per hour. So, 60,000 rupees, 50,000 rupees pagadte ho. So, if you are taking for 10 hours for that, or 12 hours, how much comes to 5 lakhs? Plus, we have to pay them, these people, another money. Which they can always, exempt. So that more people can come and shoot here and get more publicity for Goa.
So you're part of Agnipath.
Yeah.
So you are responsible for showing Goa as Mandwa, the place where villains rule.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Okay. Something from Utkarsh ji.
Okay. Still, expectations from governments are, I understand that, without policy frameworks or without, regulations, things cannot be in the right place, right? But prior to that, let me, also take attention to certain expectations from the political lobby. So far, and, in last 7 years, we never, put any expectation to the political lobby because politics is not our cup of tea. We want to do the business over here. Whatever happens, 7 years, lot of bumpy rides, ups and downs. We try to stand in front of them and we try to manage the things. With all due respect and support extended by the ruling government, right? Dr. Pramod Sawant, Honorable Chief Minister of Goa, Transport Minister, Tourism Minister, they supported us well over there. And probably that's the reason we are standing strong. But I want whatever the myth has been created in the minds of the people by some lobby, it is a duty of the political people to connect to their locality. Because what we're trying to achieve over here is a change management. Change management in the mindset, right? And with a scheme like Mukhyamantri Goa Taxi Patra Yojana, we try to abolish their thought process that nobody's from outside, it's all local earning, local pockets, local ownership of the vehicle, the money is going to the local pocket, right? So that myth we want to take out from the their mindset. Then any technology can be implemented over here. It's not only Goa Mile, for that matter, because people who are taking them for a ride in terms of their vested interests need to think about how best together we can foster the the overall tourism ecosystem for the state of Goa. Another thing on this dais I'd like to tell you that we started now coming up with the rather talking about and crying about the challenges. Why can't we contribute from ourselves? How best we can bring the quality tourism over here? So we are started creating now the ecosystem partner association where not as a legal association or something. How best we can support and complement to the MICE people, tourism people, hotel industry or logistic or airlines, and that's what the work is going on. Soon we'll publish on that. The same platform Goa Miles, we can extend the services to everyone. so they can have the affordable, available transport service over here. Because my understanding is that people coming to Goa, they want to have the mesmerizing experience of the flight, the way they travel, the way they treated in terms of hospitality. Same extended at the hotels, because that's a time where the tourists want to enjoy the things. Transportation is a media need to be affordable to reach to that mesmerizing experience. Somebody want to stay into 5-star. That doesn't mean that he need to be treated as fleecing his pocket to bring in 5,000 rupees because he's staying in, let's say, Taj. So usse 5,000 lo and 2-star mein reh raha hai isliye usse 2,000 lo. We cannot discriminate that way. So transportation should be affordable, standard, available all time. And since our job is, some industry works in day and night, our job is 24/7. We have 125 people working out of Goa, all Goans working in this, contributing that. And now this strength will go to around touching 1,000 people in the state of Goa. These 1,000 people will be manning the taxi service in Mumbai, Pune, Bangalore, Delhi, and other thing. So this, we want to bring as a change management. There is a support extended by the government, because I can't demand anything more over there. That's the reason we're standing strong. Change management is the support we're expecting from the local political lobby.
पापा आ रहे ये वाओ, कितने सुंदर है ना अपने बप्पा।
बप्पा विराजमान होते ही अपना घर स्वर्ग जैसा सुंदर हो जाएगा।
अरे ये क्या, बाप्पा के हाथ में तो मोदक ही नहीं।
मेरा बाप्पा के हाथ पे ध्यान ही नहीं गया।
बाप्पा बिना मोदक के कैसे दिखेंगे?
पंचामृत है ना। ये लो पापा के लिए पंचामृत मोदक।
अब बाप्पा भी खुश और मैं भी।
घर घर में बाप्पा, घर घर में पंचामृत।
Okay, Manoj ji, when Udan scheme was announced, that there was this slogan saying that even a farmer will be able to fly, take a flight and go. Now with you introducing your flights in Sindhudurg, places like Sindhudurg, and connecting Jalgaon to Goa, you're actually making farmers to fly in your aircraft. First of all, congratulations for that. And now considering airlines as an entire sector, as an industry, and from Goa perspective, what is the agenda that you want to put forth before the state government?
Yeah, so thanks for the, for the compliments. Very interestingly, we recently, and I was just mentioning to somebody before the event, we have a gentleman who's flown with Fly91 50 times. Okay, and then we actually just cut a cake for him a few weeks back. He's a farmer from Jalgaon. Okay, he's a farmer from Jalgaon. The last 1 year, he's been flying between Jalgaon, Pune, Jalgaon, Hyderabad, and Jalgaon, Goa, and he completed 50 flights. Okay, so obviously schemes like Udan are really giving wings to this country. So I think it's an amazingly great scheme. The fact that today we are able to fly between Goa and Lakshadweep, Goa and Jalgaon, these are all thanks to this particular scheme. And what is interesting is this scheme is not coming out of the exchequer's pocket. Okay, the way these schemes are designed by the central government is that every time you and me fly on a regular flight, let's say a Bombay or a Delhi or a Calcutta or whatever, there's 50-60 rupees that goes into a kitty that is used to fund it. So it's actually a self-sustaining model that has been created. So it's not going from a taxpayer's money, but it's going from mainstream aviation into regional aviation. So one of the things that I would put, so there are two things that I would put possibly, more from a policy perspective that maybe the state government should look at, is a lot of states around the country have attempted to replicate their own Udan model. Okay, so whether it is Maharashtra, whether it's Madhya Pradesh, there are multiple states that have attempted to do it, okay, to promote it. So one of the things I would say is maybe the government in Goa should also try and evaluate, okay, and see, like for example, I connect Sholapur to Goa, I get no, it's not part of Udan, okay, but it's actually an Udan airport, okay, and it's not a sector that a private airline can possibly sustain. Time will tell whether I can sustain or not. But these are the kind of new connections, new cities that we can help. And maybe the state government should study the model that some of the other state governments have followed to replicate a similar model to promote. So that would be number one. Number two is something very different, but again, I think it's largely industry, and I don't know if some of you have visited my office, which is just next door. It's about skill development. Okay, we were possibly the first airline to actually participate in the employment exchange in Goa. Okay, to actually go hire youngsters. Okay, today I've got 3 or 4 people working in Fly 91. That was actually part of the employment exchange drive that we did. Okay, we had some 300, 400 kids that came. So it's about providing training and local employment. Okay, we have got a beautiful training facility. I mean, so today we are proud to say that we've got youngsters coming out of schools, okay, and colleges who work with us. How can the government work with, let's say, people like us, people like IHCL, I mean, say, who have got fairly established training facilities to actually focus on skill development? Okay, and I think it's slightly more deeper. Like you got, for example, tourist guides. I'm just making it up right now, correct? Is there a formal way to train them, and can they use infrastructure that possibly people like us have built over, like classrooms and all of that stuff? But again, my job is not to do that. Okay, it costs, there is money involved, correct? Can the government facilitate, work with this ecosystem to develop skill in Goa? Okay, and I think we've got fantastic talent. Like my crew, half my crew are local boys and girls. Absolutely local boys and girls from these villages. Okay, my 2 drivers who started off with me today are technicians that work on the aircraft, correct? So Goa's got enough talent. How can state governments work with us to actually enhance it further? And I think that can be a very positive way to look at things. So these would be 2 things that I would say are points that we should work together.
Yeah.
Can I please add on to Mr. Chacko? So in our 50th years of celebration at the Taj Hotel, Goa, Mr. Chatwal, who's the MD, declared with the Goa government that there is one of its kind skill development for the hospitality industry that is being commissioned very soon. So that is a little bit of contribution from the IHCL.
I was coming to you
Now,
only. So you were pioneer of Goa's hospitality industry with few of the first star properties that you started. And now so many other players have also come. So what do you think the state government should make sure that one is these star properties to sustain, and secondly even to gain from the experiences like that of Taj for the overall hospitality industry?
See, where we get, or how our lives can be easier, the fraternity out here is our extended arms. They are our partners in whatever way, okay? If their life is easier, our life is easier as well. So before I came to this forum, we were discussing that if there can be a single corridor of licensing and taking these permissions, it makes our life easier, it makes their life easier. This would be my request.
Okay, Qamarji, and something, I think you will have a lot of things to say. We have already discussed.
In terms of suggestions?
Yes, we are setting an agenda so that end of this entire conversation, if we can point down certain things and present it before the tourism ministry or state government, that these are the viewpoints of the industry. So what are the things that you want us to tell tourism minister or the chief minister?
I think my thoughts would be on 3 lines. And of course, I always have a lot more to speak. I don't think so we have bad infrastructure. I think we have poor management of infrastructure. When we set out budgets for projects, our budgets only showcase what we want to do till the ribbon is cut. Once the project is done, then we look for who this has to be handed over to. So it goes to panchayat, municipality, whoever, who never has funding. So there's always funding given only for a project to be produced. If we can understand that it is not only about infrastructure, but also about maintenance, that will solve one major problem. So maybe create a body that can look after all infrastructure across the city. I mean, I can give you examples of what's going wrong at the moment, but I won't. Second is, and I think it's very important, is to get industry experts. And when I mean industry expert, I mean across the field, onto the advisory board. I know there's a Goa Tourism Board that's been formed. There's talks about who will get on board that board. We also are a segment that caters to this industry. When I say we, I mean the event industry. I think our industry is not well represented. It hasn't been represented for a long time. Give you numbers, our GDP is 1.2 lakhs or 120,000 crores. Tourism is about 20,000 crores of that figure. And our industry is about 700 to 800 crores. We're still 5 to 6 times bigger than the people who are on the road shouting about their businesses, which Utkarsh is dealing with every day. So I think it's about getting the right set of people onto the advisory board. So that's two. Third and the most important is ease of doing business. Even a prime minister speaks about it, and we can't implement that on a local level. License is just one part of this. There are several issues. So if you can look at a broader picture about infrastructure, industry experts, and ease of doing business.
Okay, thank you. And something from Jack, last one. You are representing.
So, while I really appreciate what IHCL has done for Goa and the hospitality industry, I think the pioneers of hospitality, we have to admit, would be Hotel Mandovi. There was a time which Goa was identified, think Goa and think Mandovi. So I think that Goanness we should acknowledge, whatever the state is today. About coming back to Goa, about the vision for Goa. See, what I would like to ask the government is, there is no vision when we think of Goa. Everything is like a knee-jerk reaction. Around, if you look 10 years back, there was this beautiful article written, I think it was in Condé Nast or somewhere, where they described Goa as India's happy place. And what made Goa India's happy place? It was basically the beauty, the natural beauty, and it was a way of life. You might call it Sosegal, which is not laziness, but it was a way of life where you were happy, where there was a general hospitality and welcoming which everyone received. You see Goa today, there is anger everywhere, everyone shouting, something or the other is up, and that has been reflecting in the way we treat our tourists or whatever. So there has to be a vision which looks at keeping the Goan within the Goan tourism industry, which captures the ethos of what Goa was and which made it such an attractive place people to come. And once you define this vision, you will find a way to get these things done. If you don't have the vision from top and if you just have knee-jerk reactions, we'll be having these discussions, the same points will come. I've been on TTAG in various capacities over the last 10 years. The points are not very different. We keep on making them. But the question is, do we have the vision and the ability to take the steps to take them?
Thank you, and thank you everyone for answering my questions and participating in this discussion. But discussion is not yet over. My friend Suraj will take it further from here.
So I represent event industry, and I just had to, I don't know, recently I also read it in the papers where Sunburn is shifted from Goa, and in so many years that it has been happening, it's Asia's one of the biggest party, and I feel it employs so many people. The entire area where Sunburn happens, many people make their livelihood. We also call it opportunity cost, where during December post-Christmas, right, everybody hypes up the price because, okay, Sunburn is happening. The taxi guys make money. The small shop vendors make money. Event industry makes money. It's shifting from Goa this year to elsewhere. I wanted to bring that forward as how it has impacted tourism and the normal local people. I feel because there is a lot of problem, in educating our local community of how tourism should be treated. It's the attitude, the problem in attitude of how we take, how Dilip sir unfiltered said, ki it's not about just the money, it's about contributing from our side to promote Goa. Why is Sunburn not promoted in Goa when it helps a lot of, Goa is known for its party destination. Goa is known for its live music, DJs. I mean, we are one of the best industries when it comes to music. People enjoy and connect to it. So the attitude of people when it comes to events is very negative. Attitude of local guys, where, I mean, last time I visited Sunburn, and it sounded lower than our Sangeet event. I mean, I was standing there, I think they were like, I don't know, 40 PA system that they had put, and I couldn't hear. There was Salaud behind, and I could hear that music louder than the music of Sunburn. I mean, you were there. It was, I saw policemen standing there, and I'm sure there was a lot of money given under the table to multiple people, yet Sunburn was not as successful as it was. So when I heard the news this time, and I'm like, why are we not understanding that how it's going to be affecting so many people? Because today it is Sunburn, tomorrow it will be so many other events and so many other opportunity Goa is losing. And it is a slow death, as he said, and I can feel it, because on an entertainment and an event level, it's not that I have heard people on pedestal saying कि अरे अगर होटल को उतना पैसा दे सकता है client, तो हमको क्यों नहीं दे सकता है, पंचायत को क्यों नहीं दे सकता है. So it's not about the client's affordability to pay. Of course, the people do have, but it's the welcoming nature. It's the us accepting the tourist, the decent behavior of tourist, them coming down to Goa. Because when you enter Jaipur, when you enter Manali, you're welcomed. It's not just international destination. I've just recently was telling somebody about Sri Lanka, how we were welcomed in Sri Lanka with an open heart, because they know this is the bread and butter. Why are more Europeans in, it was the death of first the European tourist in Goa, which is now I hardly see European tourist in Goa. Now it is the party that leaves, and soon there will be more. So I feel it's the education that we need to give to people, or to the society or the government, the people on pedestal or have the authority, ki how tourism, how tourists needs to be treated here, how they should be welcomed. And also, I mean, it's a very sad news where one of these biggest, I mean, Goa is known for this very, very big party, and it's not going to, I mean, if it happens or not happens, but I've just read it in the news that it's not going to. But yeah, it was an alarm, and I think this is something that I wanted to bring it up and understand where you stand today on this particular decision that has been taken.
Jack, would you like to take that question?
Question, I think she gave most of the solutions also in this thing, but the question of why Sunburn has shifted, see, over the last 20 years or so, Sunburn has always found difficulty in finding a venue, and this has always led it to getting licenses last minute. I think the issue with the Anjuna Comunidad was that they paid an X amount, then they wanted 5 times an amount, and last time finally we started with them wanting to go to South Goa. The South Goa, the entire ecosystem got in arms. They didn't want them, and they had valid reasons for not wanting them there. Then they went back, tried to get it back in Anjuna Comunidad. They didn't get it there, and they finally had it at a place in Dargal. Now, I do not know, they were, I think, trying to get back, and I'm not sure on this, they were trying to get back to the Anjuna Comunidad area, which they could not come to an agreement. But the thing in Sunburn is, I think the government should be very clear from day one. Either you decide you're going to have it, or you don't have it, right? You can't keep on dragging them on and say that, you know, license are issued like last 5 days. Then you lose total trust and transparency. And we also know the conditions on which that license is issued. So, yeah. That
Jack,
would be my view.
Jack, I've actually told, this morning I was talking to a friend of mine, Kiran, we've actually got to know that India is turning out to be a concert destination. There are a lot of concerts which are happening in India. Not single concert has chosen Goa as a destination as of now.
No, I think you're wrong on that. Last time we had the Brian Adams show at the Bambolim. There are people looking at it.
I would just hand it over to Kiran.
Concerts, it's one of the major thing for Goa, I believe. There's not, last year, 2023, 2024, Brian Adams show was there. This year, there is all over India, all tier 1, tier 2 cities, that is Hyderabad, Bangalore, Mumbai, Delhi, Kerala. you say anywhere, there's outdoor concerts happening, whether it is Enrique Angels coming, there is Diljit Dosanjh, a lot of concerts happening the entire country. Goa is the only state I feel there's no concerts happening for 2025 this year. Would you like, we don't know why is that? What is the reason behind that? That there's not even one concert happening. We all would love to attend concerts in Goa, but that's not happening. 2025 we don't have even one. And Sunburn Festival was the only thing for us to enjoy. That is also gone. Like, it's very disheartened to all of us.
I really don't have an answer, but I think the major issues which I can guess is there's no proper venue for that. Last time they used the Bambolim Stadium, maybe that can work as a venue. And it's been an industry's asked that there be a proper MICE center, which can also hold other events. They are looking at doing it at ONGC. When it will be up and running, I don't know. But what are the other licensing issues? We are not fully aware of that.
You just said that there's a 50% drop of tourism from pre-COVID to post-COVID. Any reason behind that? Like, why so much of drop in tourism, sir?
No, my thing, I said the foreign numbers were 4.67 lakhs. They were around 1 million pre-COVID. So there has been no drop in tourism. Overall tourism has grown. It's 20 to 22%. It's much higher. I'm not sure in domestic tourists. But foreign numbers, the reasons they've declined is, one is all across India they've declined. There is, I think, Jaipur and all the others at 40 or 45% of what they were pre-COVID. Goa is slightly higher. There are various reasons attributed to it. Other countries aggressively targeting such foreign tourists with free visas on arrival and other things, which, and infrastructure-wise they've improved, especially Southeast Asia. So there are people who prefer to go there than come to Goa. And so those numbers, foreign numbers have dropped. And even a lot of charter operators who got those foreign numbers earlier are no longer doing business. That business has declined.
Anything you all could do to support the industry? Because we can clearly see that things are declining for us. And it is tough for our industry also. We need tourism for our growth also. Just Qamar said that it's one of the highest GDP, and that's the highest number of people who is surviving in this industry.
We are the tourist industry. I mean, I'm talking on behalf of the tourism industry. I'm not the government.
So other question, in fact, Qamar, if you'd like to probably take this up, or even Debarchan, do you think the music licenses, the cost of music licenses is impacting the MICE movement in Goa?
See, I can talk about IHCL hotels, okay?
Okay, I'm not just talking about IHCL. I'm talking about overall, MICE movement across 5 stars, not just about IHCL. So anybody would like to take that question?
See, I can talk about IHCL hotels.
Right.
See, when it comes to smaller hotels, these licensing fees are, a huge sum of amount compared to the billing that they are doing with the hotel. Okay, wherein for larger events, it still, somehow makes sense. But for smaller units that we have, this is something that we see with these licensing implications. The guest either tells that, okay, we will not do that particular entertainment event out here, or they look at alternative options.
So that's exactly my point. Are we losing it out?
See, how can you say that? Because if the guest is coming here in Goa, if they are staying in a boutique hotel, they are still having that entertainment, but probably that entertainment, that particular revenue is not coming to me. However, it is still going to probably a standalone outlet.
So do you think these guests choose an international destination because of these kind of fees?
See, again, internationally, there can be, everything has its pros and cons, okay? Of course, this, as I said, these licensing, if there is a single window, that will make all our life easier. And it has to be, proportionate to the number of people that is there. There also has to be awareness. And there has to be, if it is implemented all across, everywhere. So if you go to some of these licensing websites, they say even a barber shop needs to have these licenses. If everybody is aware, and if it is implement it across every nook and corner. Fair enough, there is awareness. Everybody knows that this is what is going to happen. But what is happening in these certain instances is that, okay, you are saying that, okay, in order to do an event at the 5-star, these are the costs that is going to implement it, and who communicates that? The event manager is communicating that. We don't want to be in a difficult situation, neither we or neither the event manager. As I said, they are our partners, they are our extended arms. So if there is a single point wherein all these licenses can be taken, that would be my urge to the government. It will make all of our life easier. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank
Suraj,
you.
I have a couple of inputs on this part particularly.
Yes.
We're also as a logistic partner. So we are the extended arm for the MICE and events over there, what's happening in Goa. Because we mobilize them on ground, right? And we face challenges also. So there is a central government, policy drafted for MICE and, industry over there, right? To empower it and, to foster the overall growth in the country, right? Along with that, I think states should come up with, same thought process, how best we can be, not only the licensing part, but there are other aspects over there, the commitment from the, venue, the roles and responsibility of the, MICE player, the access to the logistic player, right, and apart from that, the permission and the, again, change management part or the mindset change management part. So all this thing can be articulated into one state policy as a Goa as a state policy. And this thought can be, I think, collectively we can take to the state government to adopt it.
Hi, my name is Clyde. I'm into tourism as well as I've done a few corporate events. So based on this, I have two questions. One is, we know that technology is the future and that will ease the way operations are to a very good extent. And tourists in general face this very prime problem that you have to go to multiple websites, skim through multiple platforms to book the basic things that you require in Goa. For stay, you have to look at 5 different partners. For transport, it's either Goa Miles or several taxi unions through the hotel and other things. So my question is, do you think that a technology which is integrated to have easy access, if you want tourism, you can book guides online, you can book tours online, one single platform, which is integrated with transport, which is integrated with flights, which is integrated with events. You can book online licenses. You just enter the details. Do you think a government-backed solution like this will solve a lot of problems?
See, it's a brilliant thought, Clive, and let me tell you that, part of that we already started implementing. If you browse the Goa Mile application, right? If you want to enjoy the bungee jumping, if you want to do the, cruise rides, if you want to do the other value-added services in Goa, we're already extending that, right? And our 20% bookings are coming from that, this periphery business. Because if I need to take somebody on a cruise, right, I need to pick up him from hotel and, take it over there. So I already started working on that. Yes, certain parts, as you suggested, as an administrative activity, probably that there could be some single umbrella solution for that. But, Goa Mile has already taken an initiative how best we can, become a single umbrella solution for all tourism activity. And we are taking in a confidence all associated partners with us. For a MICE part, there is an offline technology we have created and we extended that, in Delhi, Bangalore and other location. And that's how we are generating, more footfall to the Goa. We're bringing, attracting these people from there. Now we're, thinking to tie up with the airlines also. So there is a parallel thought going on that line. How best we can create an ecosystem so all the partners can come together and extend a, common solution to the tourist or common solution to the people, the consumer of the customer of the MICE industry.
Correct.
But again, I'll just kind of add on to something what you said, and maybe it's, I've been in Goa long enough. I was born and brought up in this place. My first concert I attended was Uriah Heep. I don't know if any of you guys in this room ever know the fact that Uriah Heep performed at Don Bosco. It was 1983, if I'm not mistaken. There was Bonium that came to Kampal Stadium. There was OCBSA that came. During my days at Goa Engineering College, when we used to do happenings, we had Rock Machine, which later on became Indiscreet. We had Shiva from Calcutta. We had 13AD. So we had some of the best bands that have come and performed over here. Now, the point that I want to make is, and we were all part of it those days, we never relied on the government or anybody else to make it happen. There was a lot of local youngsters coming up there saying, we want to kind of do something for this place. Okay, I find that missing. Okay, so while I know this forum is to talk about what the administration can do for us, I will also ask that question back to say, what are our youth and youngsters doing? Like, I was at Goa Engineering College itself, my alumni, I went there after 30 years, and for happenings, they wanted to bring a DJ from Punjab. And I said, guys, you know, instead of promoting local talent, musicians, you know, out here, is this what you guys want to do? Correct? So somewhere I think part of the responsibility also comes back, and that is where one has to see how do you start building it out. Okay, number one. Number two is I heard the point on Sunburn being raised. Okay, I'm not too close to the problem, or, you know, I'm not very close to it. But the only question I'm saying is, Goa today, I mean, if you go back and look at what Goa was maybe 10 years, 20 years, 30 years, you know, 55 years I know this particular place. We started off as a cheap, hippie tourist destination. That is what Goa was when I was being, you know, when I used to go to school. Okay, we evolved out of it. Okay, we now need to say, where do we want to get to? Okay, and I think, like today, for example, when we talk about places like Tamdi Surla, when we talk about Narkasur, you know, people actually are so keen to know, oh, we did not know that Goa had all of this to offer. So I think somewhere we also have to start looking at what else can Goa offer. I mean, say, how many of us know that the Oliver Ridley turtles are there in Goa? Okay, or you actually have crocodiles when you cross over to Diwar. Correct? And I think that is how you start building sustainable tourism. Okay, so somewhere again, you know, the way I would look at it is, yes, the points that are being spoken about, very, very valid points. But I think we have to start about seeing how can we start reimagining this place. You know, and I'll give a classic example of Singapore and Dubai. Okay, their team sits out there to say every 5 years they have to reimagine that place. So every 5 years I go to Singapore, there's a new bunch of things I need to see. There are a new bunch of things I need to experience. Similar thing with Dubai. I think that is the level that we need to get Goa to, and it is not going to be in the hands of the government. Okay, it is this ecosystem that needs to get together and say, what is it new that we as Goa can show people, so that the same guys who came 2 years back, when they come in today, they get to see a new set of experiences. And there are a lot of that happening in Goa. I think the good part is there's a lot of that happening. So if one thing is out of the window or it's not happening, I don't think that's the end of tourism or the end of the world. There are 10 new things that are happening again that are coming up out here. And we have to see how we can build it out. Sorry, it's got nothing got to do with aviation, but just as a passionate guy who was born in this village, okay, I have to bring it up. And again, talking about movies, I still remember the first movie shooting I saw in Goa was in this river Mandovi, just across the old Goa Medical College. Seawolves were shot with Roger Moore, where they blew up a boat in the same village, 1980, just FYI.
I just have one reason why I said government backed, because government has the power to enforce regulations. As a private entity, for example, I want to control the number of people on Baga. I cannot do it. But government can do it based on the carrying capacity. Can the beach hold that many people? Morjim Beach, Olive Ridley turtles, they nest there. If Morjim becomes Baga, will the turtles be there? That's my only question. We talk about sustainability, but it's not possible without infrastructure. Jack would know this. What is happening at Dudhsagar? Was Dudhsagar designed to cater to so many people? The mud is red. You go through that jeep safari, it's red. My only point for bringing government back is because it gets regulated, nothing else. If government vets the right experts on board, we can have a beautiful ecosystem where the right people are doing things the right way. That's it.
Enough said! Enough said, let's end. Start drinking in the rhythm. What you're feeling is the vibe. About to make a drink and wanna race it to the tribe. when I'm bringing in the ride. Enough sell its end, so I join the tribe. Enough said. Never see me cause I'm racing against the time. Wanna hear you scream. Never see me cause I'm taking what is mine. This your time, now you.
My name is Nafisa, I'm a wedding planner. I have a very simple question. The question is when. I mean, we just keep talking and talking and talking about, our roads are not good, we have a garbage problem, we have this problem, the locals are angry when, we talk about tourists, we call them ghatis, we call them this, we call them that. We're giving wrong directions to people when they stop and ask us for directions. We've been talking about solutions for the longest time. I just don't know when we're going to see any change. I mean, I have so many points written down. I don't know if my mind will just wander, but, ease of doing business. When you say, the youth needs to do something, we've been trying at our own level. I know Qamar and I have spent many days trying to bring a lot of change in the event industry, bringing about, recycling of wedding-based. This is what we did mostly in during COVID, brainstorming about how floral waste can be recycled, how to, we also, worked in the back end with an organization to bring about a change. We just kept bringing up ideas, and nothing happened. So the big question is when. And if it's not backed by the government, I mean, we can't do everything on our own. Ease of business is not, it's not easy. So there needs to be a body that, understands and values how important tourism is to Goa. We all know the problems. I could go on for, maybe about an hour highlighting a few things. It's high time. If we do not do anything now, I know, I have clients who call me and say, Nafisa, will you do a wedding in Bali? And I'm like, yeah, I will. I don't even say, why don't you try coming to Goa? Because Goa is familiar to everyone. Everyone knows Goa. The non-Goans know Goa better than Goans. Sometimes they say, do you know this, this new restaurant that's happened? And I'm like, no, I don't. Because every year something new, comes up, fails after 2 years. There's so many issues. But, I'm now moved out of, that space that I have to promote everything local. I mean, it's very sad for me to say this. I'm now open to doing weddings in Udaipur. I'm open to doing weddings in Kerala. But there was a time when those questions and those conversations never happened. We're talking about these new airports that have come up within 5 hours of, drive time from Mopa and Dabulem. I mean, it's a matter of time that someone just comes up with beautiful 5-star hotels in Sindhudurg or Kumta and stuff like that. Yeah, absolutely. And where does this huge wedding market, where does it go? I mean, we have been, I mean, yesterday we were a part of a panel and I brought this up. We have been milking this cow for the longest time. Yes, we have, everyone has done their, their bit, but it's not big enough. It's not that step that we need to take. Goa will eventually probably lose its charm. It still has its charm. There's a lot that we can do. But when? We need to take some steps. Like, we need to do something like now. We need to form those bodies. We need to have, some kind of uniformity in hospitality. Like small things, like even when you go to, a hotel in Rajasthan, you will see every person trained to greet you uniformly. We don't have that. We don't have that. Everyone's expected to fend for themselves. I call myself a stakeholder in the tourism industry, but I know I've just been, trying to figure things out on my own, trying to figure how we can contribute to the industry, how we can contribute towards Goa, because it's so close to our hearts. We just need people who can actually make decisions to also come on board. I wish someone was here who could actually take a decision and we could address them directly. So, I mean, maybe it's not a question besides the when, but it is a little, it's very personal to my heart. And even seeing garbage on the road, seeing potholes on the road, seeing, inflated taxi rates. So Goa Miles, when someone tells me Goa Miles use karo, meko dar lagta hai. Because of all the negative publicity, not because I doubt the service. It's just there's a certain amount of, information that's being fed to us, and it's just so many things I won't be able to touch upon it. Also with the licensing, we are okay probably to pay. I mean, the kind of clientele that we have would also be okay to pay these licenses, even if the cost of license is more than the event itself. What do you get in return? What do you get in return? If I have an intimate wedding of 40 people, and you're asking me to pay more in terms of licensing than what I'm spending at the hotel, what do I get in return? Nothing. I just don't get harassed. That's what I get in return. That's all. So we need to stop. And when Sir said that, I don't know what the thing was behind the Bryan Adams thing, the licensing bit. Why don't we have that clarity? Why is it not on a website where you can easily go and say, if I need to have a concert, this is the amount of money? Why is it variable? Why does every Goan kid who wants to go to Sunburn have that question in their head saying, is baar Sunburn hoga ki nahi hoga? And then we have this thing where it's gone to Mumbai and then last minute it's come back and then it goes back. I mean, why is it so uncertain? Why can't Goa just open its arms in a very systematic way, in a very organized fashion and say, you want to do a large scale, ticketed music festival, this is what it will cost you. I don't know what it needs to cover under that, but this is what it will cost you. And then it's just clear at the beginning of the year, you bring on all the local stakeholders into confidence and do it peacefully rather than having this anger towards, this negative connotation towards tourism. Because honestly, whether we like it or not, this is our mainstay. Tourism is our mainstay. I mean, everything else is secondary. I think tourism is right up there. And if we lose it, because once we lose out on the opportunity, I don't think it'll be easy to bring it back.
Nafisa, the question to you is, would you still bring business to Goa or will you take it out?
Absolutely. I mean, we've not, what have we done? I mean, I don't think we've done anything.
Is it easier to do work outside Goa or in Goa?
Outside Goa. Outside of Goa.
Where do you make more revenue, here or outside Goa?
Outside of Goa.
So why do you pick Goa? Loyalty.
Because I love Goa.
That's
it's easier for me to do Goa
so
because
the
I don't have to travel.
Question to all of us here is, how long will that loyalty last? If we are harassed, if you don't make revenue, how long will the loyalty last?
I don't know. And I don't know. I mean, I'm sure it's the same for everyone.
I know. I started doing my work outside Goa as well. 8 months ago, I took a step. I went out as well. So I know by eventually loyalty runs out.
When we travel to other destinations and they, my first question is, what is the cost for licenses? And they say, there's no cost for license. I'm like, what? I'm like, you're not charging for us to do this? Because it's so unheard of, because we've been wired differently. We've been wired to always fear doing something different. Like if you want to do a drone show, I mean, at another destination, I didn't have to pay a single rupee. And I was like, so I can do this in your airspace and you will not charge me for this? And they were like, yes, because this, what you do like over here is going to bring us more work, because there'll be other people who will see this and want to come to our destination. I'm not going to name the destination, but they're going to come to our destination and it's just more work for us. We're happy. When I closed a wedding in another destination, but the moment my client signed the contract, I had nothing to do. I just gave him a list of hotel names. The GM, the sales head, and all the people at the lobby stood and thanked me while I was leaving the hotel. They're like, thank you for your business. I thought I owned that hotel for the day. They came and they thanked me.
That's true. That's what most hotels outside feel like.
They thanked me for bringing a client and helping them sign the contract. They sponsored like a 2-day stay complimentary. They're like, this is our compliments. You know, make reels, you make videos, you post it up, do whatever. I mean, it's amazing. They've got it sorted out. So when will it happen for us? That's what I want to know.
I think what Nafisa is trying to say is we are looking at an easy access. I think Jack, that's something probably you can.
So before
think
Jack
about.
comes, I want to, I'm holding my thoughts for a couple of minutes back, right? So Nafisa, you being a credible stakeholder into the, this fraternity, I understand that the kind of pains, you just listed down, it's all valid, in terms of reasons and, the on-ground challenges over there. I'd like to touch base upon the point because here there is no government or, administrative authority sittings over here. Although we all are equally over here in terms of contributing to the tourism as an ecosystem partners with them, right? And I'll concentrate more on the events, MICE and, my part into the last mile connectivity over there. You mentioned that, when you sit in Goa Mile vehicle, probably, you got to fear that, understand. But there is a fear for tourists also, many a times over there, right? And this is what we are talking about, that, the youth or the people who are contributing to the ecosystem, we have heavy dependency on the government when it comes to administrative, obligations, license and all this part. I understand that, right? Let them collectively, define something on that part. That's a secondary thing. What I feel at the moment, as an ecosystem partner, how best we can support each other, how best we can, foster this industry, further over there, right? As you rightly mentioned that, people are thanking you if you're contributing to the customer to them. People are thanking to us when we're bringing the event player from Delhi to, Goa over there. Although it could be, wedding of 55 people or it could be, some event of 100 people, right? So we are contributing into the hotel industry, we are contributing to the aviation also in a way, in that way. So if as an industry, we come together and we start, collaborating with each other, how best, let's say, if I'm a last mile connectivity player, how much I can contribute to the scuba diving, how much I can contribute to the bungee jumping, if I come with that thought, integrate that into single umbrella, it could be a technology solution, it could be processes, it could be, some MOU form, amongst us, and that way we can, take it further. Because, the love and affection what you're showing for Goa, although having these challenges, you want to bring the customer to Goa, right?
That's and we always, I know most of my wedding planner friends always promote local talent, local cuisines, community events. We always, the first preference would always to promote local. Like if we have to promote even a small thing like a musician during one of the, maybe a reception, it'll always first be a local Goan band. If we have a choice to maybe pay lesser and get someone from maybe outside of Goa to do our technicals, we'll always go with a local partner. Unless it's really kind of, breaking the bank. We always do. I mean, I know because there are very, honest people that at least we interact with who genuinely care, who genuinely want to, do something for Goa. Because I don't know anyone who says, it's okay, it doesn't matter. Everyone genuinely loves what we have. We're very appreciative of it. We just don't want it to go down the drain because of all these other reasons.
So some part of your question, when you say when, I think that can be answered at least 50%. The when start from our side, right? Yeah. We all together, right? We can make that action on the ground can make a difference. And then let's say remaining 50% government can define.
But when?
We need to be positive about that.
Manoj, next question is for you. We've all known about the flight pricing. Okay, considering, leaving aside the destinations which are drivable to Goa, if you're looking at other destinations, the cost of flights, the tickets is huge at times. And I'm sure traveling to international destination comes either at the same price or maybe sometimes even cheaper. Do you think, I understand aviation is a business, but can something be done about it? Is there a solution to this so that we can still look at, value for money kind of ticketing?
Okay, so I don't think there is anything different that happens in our country from anywhere else. It is like any perishable commodity. So typically, two critical perishable commodities. One is hotel rooms and the second is airline seats. Globally follow the dynamic pricing model. Okay. Having said that, again, I would say that a lot of times there's far too much of mirch masala that goes into the news. Okay, on an average, the peak of peak seasons, okay, a ticket into Goa will possibly touch the 10,000 mark. Okay, I mean, say, yeah, you may have this one random thing where suddenly there's a fare showing at 15,000 or 20,000. I mean, even that never normally happens. And here I'm not talking about just one airline, I'm talking about in general, correct? Any city pair in India at a peak would be somewhere around 10 or 12,000 rupees on a really peak day. I don't know of any global destination where you can get a ticket for 12,000 rupees. Okay, so a lot of times it is the way the narrative is built. Okay, the cheapest ticket to, let's say, Thailand or Dubai or whatever it may be, there may be that one random day when maybe you can get a Dubai ticket at maybe 7,000, 8,000, whatever it is. But in my mind, it's more a narrative. Okay, but yes, the demand pricing will exist. Okay, yes, different airlines need to be a little bit more rational. Like, I'll give you a classic example. I mean, say, till the pandemic, okay, when capacity was there, you could typically pick up a ticket to what you would pay to go to Europe and what you would pay to go to the US. Okay, today what you pay to go to Europe is what you used to pay to go to the US. Whatever class of travel, whether it's economy, whether it's business, whatever. Why? Because capacity has dropped globally. So the correlation between capacity, demand and pricing will exist as long as airlines and hotels are there. That will not go away anywhere. Finally, the customers will decide. Okay, so you start doing opportunistic pricing, at some point of time, customer says, I will not go back to that brand because that brand I can't trust during times like these. So again, it's a choice an individual brand would make, but you know, that's not going anywhere.
Any other question? Anybody?
Just like to add a little bit to what Nafisa said. Coming to your thing, why it's not clear anyway, I absolutely agree. All the things should be put out and should be very clear that this is what you need to do. Over the last 2 years, every time the association has met, the Honorable CM is assured that there would be a single window document push for the events agency. There will not be, I mean, you cannot have a single window license issued because there are various different departments involved. But a document push, what he means by a document push, or what the IS officers there mean, is that you'll put it on a common portal. It will be the portal's responsibility, or the department which accepts it, to spread it to everyone else, and then they will get back to you. Now, how much we can lobby to ensure that this happens, we'll all have to work on it. So hopefully that comes through. He had promised this 1 year back in the latest stakeholder meeting. He said, yes, I know, I promised you that, I'll get it done. We are all industry people here, so there are politics at play behind it, as who controls this and what happens, and who, you know, eventually has a hold on how this license is issued. So we have to see how we best try and get it going ahead. I think the biggest reason for not having what you call it, an clear event thing in Goa is that we don't have a proper venue. Like for a concert, even though the Bryan Adams concert was held at a sports stadium, there were issues with the sports department on issuing that NOCs at times because there could be damages, and unofficially it did happen, but they managed to see that it was done. So once we get that event menu and it's done clearly, then I think a lot of things will become clearer.
Normally, the single window system doesn't work. We have a single window system for our film shootings from last 4-5 years, but it is only a single. We have to give one place, but we also have to go and follow it up. Like, I have to get permission from tourism, I have to go myself, I have to go to police station, I have to go to consent department, get all the NOCs and give it to them. Then only they give the permission. It doesn't call, you don't call him it as a single window system. It doesn't work. And even now, what you are talking about, I'm hearing from last 4 years. It is not happening. They only talk, like how we are talking here, discussing, nothing, no outcome will come. Same way you talk to government, same problem. And I would like to say, Chacko, one thing. Since you are saying your rooms and your hotel rooms are perishable, you should have a policy wherein last 4 hours, you should sell that ticket to a cheaper price so that you can take, as it is going waste. So think on this so that, you know, hotel people, like last 4 hours, you keep the ticket at a lower price so that people can take instead of traveling by bus.
So actually, if you actually go and check, that is exactly what airlines are doing today. So today, for example, at the last minute, let's say, for example, I want to fly tonight to Bombay. There is a very strong possibility that you may get a 3,000 rupee ticket to Bombay. And the same flight would have been selling at 5,000 yesterday. So about 5 or 6 years back, the concept was different. You would always get a higher price on the last day. But today airlines are changing. So today actually the last minute there's a very strong possibility you would actually get a good price.
So earlier, like hotels would have some kind of tariff. Like whenever we used to go to any hotel, what is your tariff? They had a printed tariff cards. That is stopped now totally.
No,
Tariff cards are not there for
No,
hotels.
it is there. So if you look on the DGCA website, we as airlines, we have to publish our entire tariff sheet. Every airline, every sector, the tariff sheet. So I cannot come up with a random pricing. So for example, if I take a sector, let's say I go Goa, Hyderabad, I may have 15 fare levels I can sell. So I may say my lowest fare is, let's say, 1,500, 2,000, 2,500. My highest fare is 12,000, correct? I have to publish it and it has to be on my website and on DGCA's website. If I say it's 1,500 and 2,000, I can't suddenly come up with a 1,800 rupee fare. So in aviation, there is a published tariff sheet for every sector, for every airline on the DGCA website and on the airline website.
Got it. Yeah. How about rooms, sir?
See, we have across multiple.
They don't have a regulator.
But coming to that question, whatever hotels are classified with the Ministry of Tourism, Government of India, these are, I mean, not necessary that every hotel has to be classified. You are supposed to display your rate on the website, and it can of course be a rate of the day which then fluctuates, but you are supposed to display.
There is nothing called rack rates. There is dynamic rates is what we have.
Yeah, but you see your classification guidelines, it clearly says that you have to publish your rate on your website. You can change it. You can change it. Correct.
No.
No, there's no maximum sellable price. There's no limit. There's no capping.
We have, hotels across multiple price ranges. And yes, there are people who are looking into revenue management to gain a certain occupancy level. And that is working. And as you rightly said, yes, at last minute, if it's a perishable item, of course, that always exists there. And that is why the rate keeps on fluctuating. See, very simple, we are talking about this. When we have an F1 event at a particular, city, that city becomes exorbitantly expensive. So it is also about what we are bringing in, what we are evolving, what every one of us here is showcasing. If there is a Buddha International Circuit which comes out here, I'm sure everybody of us is going to benefit out of it. So it's about infrastructure.
I just want to add one point, and sorry, you spoke about the electronic way of, single window thing. Again, I just want to kind of give a completely unrelated example, which I have had the privilege of being associated. That's in aviation. So the DGCA, that's the Director General of Civil Aviation, actually has got a portal called the EGCA portal. Anything that you do with DGCA, okay, you only do it through the portal. And again, let me tell you, and I've said this publicly multiple number of times. I'm a middle class guy from Ribandar village. Okay, not a rich man, raised professional money, started an airline. In that entire journey, okay, we have not even gifted a 100-gram mithai box to anybody. Okay, and that is the power of the EGCA portal. Because anything, you can't talk to anybody. Anything and everything has to be uploaded on the portal. There is a digital time, digital stamp, and there is a TAT, which means that when you upload something, the officer has got 7 days to respond. He has got 7 days to raise a query. And if he raises a query, you respond. He can raise a query the second time. The third time, it gets escalated to a superior. Okay, red flags come up, orange flags come up. Okay, so all I can tell you is in this country, there are certain places where this works beautifully, Okay, and we from the day we applied for our NOC to the day we got our license, okay, was December 22nd, 2022, we applied for our NOC. We went in for our first formal meeting in August of 23, and 18th of March 24, we had our first flight takeoff, and everything happened through the portal. Even today, for example, when a pilot gets trained, his license needs to happen. You got to raise it in the portal. If there's a shortfall, it comes back. While you go meet, talk to them, no email, no letter, nothing. Everything happens on the portal. So if you guys want to give an example, maybe Jack, as an industry body, if you want to give an example, you must give this as an example to say there is a portal called the EGCA that works for DGCA. BCAS is also part of that, correct? Look at that, replicate it, it works beautifully. Civil aviation in India runs on that portal, and it runs wonderfully well. So again, I know there are a lot of, many of us sometimes get very cynical, okay, but there is, and you ask the question, when? Okay, I don't know when, but I can possibly tell you how it is working in certain other industries, and it's within travel as well. Maybe we should try and get something like that replicated in places like Goa, because it works well. Thanks. Sorry, I digressed, but just wanted to let you guys know.
I'm a holistic life coach. So it's a privilege, sir. Fly 91. I have a gift company which designed the first gift for your first crew team. So we designed and we gifted. So it's a privilege. So I'm a holistic life coach. Actually, everybody is talking about so many. Goa, when I have a store in Fontainebleau, so we deal with so many tourists and all. So my question for Jack, actually my question will be particularly to the Jack because he's into the tourism industry. So many tourists we came across, foreign and the local. So many people talk about when we talk about Goa, what we talk? Liquor, cruise, casinos, parties, all these things. But there are so many people come here and the doctor recommended people to Goa for the health and wellness industry. This is some industry which is actually ignored or it is least bother. Health and wellness, I have come across certain people who shifted to Goa for their health because of the atmosphere and everything. And the second thing is we promote so many cultures and so many things, but we less promote about the wellness. If you talk about the Kerala, Kerala is famous for all the spa, all the therapies and all these things. And Goa has yoga centers, wellness center who provide so many different Indian therapies. Like I myself does the sound healing and so many other Reiki and all those things. So we, even the corporate events happen here, they promote all the kind of party things. There are so many event companies. But how many of us actually promote the health and wellness, which is the most important role in everyone's life? And people are stressed. People are like committing suicide. People, even the corporate and all the corporates. Because I'm a corporate trainer also. So when I come across people, so many people are suffering and they think that only doing the party will just remove all the stress. So that's why I request the tourism industry to promote the health and wellness industry also, because all of you are the industry giants, and if you people and you deal with the mass, so if you promote, you give your contribution in promoting that industry also, that will be great and that will be a good revenue, because even I have the foreign clients who come specifically for so many modalities and so many therapies. So that's why I say that people go for Varanasi or Kerala or so many places where the culture is being promoted. But I don't think in Goa it is that much being promoted. So what do you say?
So I think every place sort of generates a unique USP and you get defined by it. Like however much you try to push hinterlands in Goa, we still come back to beaches being its main attraction. Similarly, when it comes to wellness, there have been a lot of attempts. I think we have a Ministry of Ayush sanctioned Ayurveda college, a very big college. There were people who tried to get into Ayurveda earlier, like Devaya. For a long time, when we had charter tourists, dental tourism was huge. There were like 30 people on the beach belt, I think, who were doing dental treatments for foreigners. And this wellness gets promoted at a subliminal level everywhere. You go to Arambol and all whatever yoga camps are there. There were brands like Yoga Magic. So it's happening, but in my opinion, it's happening, but it's not the main thing that is being pushed out of Goa.
Yeah, because they are doing their level in the Instagram or any kind of social media. But I was going through the tourism industry website, but there is nothing for that.
Is there any license for your services? No, are there any licenses applicable?
License? No, I don't.
No, right? Everyone, please sell a business here.
पापा आ रहे ये वाओ कितने सुंदर है ना अपने पापा।
बप्पा विराजमान होते ही अपना घर स्वर्ग जैसा सुंदर हो जाएगा।
अरे ये क्या, बाप्पा के हाथ में तो मोदक ही नहीं।
मेरा बाप्पा के हाथ पे ध्यान ही नहीं गया।
बाप्पा बिना मोदक के कैसे दिखेंगे?
पंचामृत है ना। ये लो पापा के लिए पंचामृत मोदक।
अब बाप्पा भी खुश और मैं भी।
घर घर में बाप्पा, घर घर में पंचामृत।
Manoj, you gave an excellent idea for all of us, that TAT, what you said, single window, that we can send online the whole application. In that way, sir, Jack, you could actually take this idea in the for the event. Like all of us, we want to do something, just like what Manoj said. We would love to do something in Goa. That single window, which is creating a problem, if it is taken in the format of how Manoj said, we are going to any body, whichever body you could suggest the government. Any body you all tell us, we will go and give the applications, whatever layouts need to be given, everything will be submitted to them. After that, I think there are around 36 licenses which we need to take if we want to do any massive event in any state. So one single body, we give all the layouts and everything, and from then onwards, everything will be online. That the same TAT what Manoj said. In that way, I think things would be very good for event industry, and it would help tourism, everything to come back. I think so.
I had also said in between, and I was responding to Officer, the Honorable CM has promised to do it. He's been promised over the last 2 years. When he comes out with it, the only way we can do is keep on putting pressure.
Got it.
Can I make a statement here? In terms of just understanding for everyone, there are two types of licensing. Of course, because it's a major point for us. There are statutory licenses and there are copyright licenses. Statutory is in the hands of government.
This is purely statutory.
Yeah,
Copyright is a whole different
So that's an easy
ballgame.
one. Copyright is something we need to. I'll tell you why I want to talk about copyright here is because I've had various discussions with the stakeholders at various copyright agencies. The common suggestion is please get the state involved, and why they say so is, and this goes back to what Debarchan said. The reason the prices of licensing is that high is because the number of tickets that are being bought are very, very small number. Most of these licenses are for 5-star hotels only. If a rationale is created where the licenses are bought all across, this is restaurants, small halls, your wedding venues, everywhere, the cost of licensing will come down because once it is a common factor for everyone, the cost will come down. And the only issue we have is how do we push this? I'm talking on behalf of my fraternity is Is TTAG the body that we will need to speak with on our behalf, or will speak on our behalf with the body? Because that's the only way for these two elements to be looked after. I'm now an audience.
So coming specifically to copyright, as TTAG, we have looked at this earlier and we have consulted and spoken to the government also. The thing is, for the government to act in any way, it has to be backed by a statute or a law. And for copyright, the state has no statute. I mean, it can just call the people for a negotiating table. Discussions, what I'm told, are happening at the central level. It's Ministry of Information and Broadcasting, and the agencies and Mr. Piyush Goyal's team are negotiating it with various national organizations taking it on. So till now there are issues on like you have these 4-5 agencies, right? Who is the one who will collect, who will distribute, is where it's stuck. And this is what information.
Can this copyright be purchased by hotels long term for the banquet spaces, just like, for example,
let me finish,
others?
then I'll come back. Then you ask your question. So they are negotiating on who will collect and how you will collect. Now, what is happening right now is that every time the government did help out in Goa, they came out with a circular which was badly drafted in law, and the copyright agencies are strong enough to go to court and get it squashed. You're aware of that. So legally they have won till now. We have not been able to challenge them. And coming to what rates, so this is where it's stuck at the moment. What was your?
My follow-up question was, just like when a restaurant offers, for example, food or beverage, there is an excise license required by them. Similarly, shouldn't hotels probably purchase annual licenses for locations and just build that into the cost? Is that a feasibility? Rather than cutting out these arbitrary middlemen?
That is something which will have to be studied with the hotel and whether it's necessary for to get
The reason I
them
ask is because you're a major stakeholder in that body, which is so I'm asking now as the audience.
So like I say, as an industry stakeholder, our job is to, as much as possible, to come up with policy which makes it easy for someone to do business. Now, for us to go ahead and we'll have to get a view on this and see if it's possible. Now, for us to go out and say, oh, okay, a hotel should get an additional license is not something that we are comfortable doing till we understand the full recovery.
This is in the background, the fact that already licenses are issued, for example, to restaurants or clubs that, hotels run. So banquet is just one more addition to that service because the venue doesn't change.
So for me, this is becoming a very technical issue, which I don't have competence to answer. So you can keep on trying to cross-question me, but I don't have the answer.
All right.
My name is Vilas Naik Gaukar. I am with IDFC First Bank. Good evening, everyone, esteemed panelist and moderator, Mr. Sawant. It's a truly privilege to be here and be among such a visionary professional who's change maker and thinker for the Goan industry. I'd like to thank you, SearchKar, for organizing this event and giving us the opportunity to be the part of this particular initiative, where we can part of this ecosystem of a tourism industry by contributing to your businesses, by your finance in terms of our banking industry. So I'm here with my team. I have Amit Bandekar, who is a branch manager for Panjim, along with his team. So I'll brief about the unique feature about the IDFC First Bank. Okay, Jack sir is our customer. Anyone aware what is the unique feature of a IDFC First Bank savings account?
I'll just say I'm a very happy customer, and Crystal has been a great relationship.
Yeah. Thank you so much, sir. Anybody can say what is the unique feature of our savings account? It's one of the industry's best savings account, and we are the industry's first feature that we have introduced when we started with this particular offering. Anybody for that?
Data analytics on spending.
Yes. But there is something better than that. Absolute monetary terms. Yes. So we offer highest rate of savings account on highest rate on your savings account. It is up to 7%. What next? The credit of this particular accounts gets on a monthly basis. So somebody is maintaining say 15 lakhs in these account. Most of the banks gives you a quarterly rate of interest, which is at say 2.5% to 3%. With us, it is 7% rate of interest. It is annual rate of interest is 7%, credited on monthly basis. So you have a more compounding. So no bank will give you the interest in the month of August, right? Any bank will give the interest. The Universal Bank will give the interest in the month of August. Jackie sir account will get the, Jack sir's account will have a monthly interest. September interest again will be calculated. October interest again will be calculated for the month of September again. Plus zero charge on the savings account. You will not have a single debit on your account. Whatever 28 charges that any competition bank charge you, IMPS, whatever, debit card, multiple withdrawal charge, check, DD issuance, absolutely no charge on the savings account. You will get to see the only and only interest credited on a monthly basis. So there are two slabs. Up to 5 lakh, we offer 3%. 5 lakhs to 10 crore, we offer a 7% rate of interest on the savings account. Same we offer to a NRI client also. So similar offering is offered to the NRI client, and for NRI, there's no tax that is applicable for a NR customers. Okay, so it's a tax-free money that is available for the NRE accounts. Similarly, there is no TDS on the savings account that is applicable. Like unlike what we do is that we most of the time we park the money in a fixed deposit for a higher rate of interest. There is a 10% TDS is deducted. On a savings account, there is no TDS that is applicable. It is a taxable income. It will be added back to your income when you calculate your entire financial. But primarily, there is no TDS that is deducted on the savings account. One more game changer offering for the NR account that IDFC is offering is something called as a gift city account. So any of your family member, friends, relatives working abroad, we can have an account in a foreign currency itself. So one of your relatives or friend probably working abroad, keeping a money in overseas account, there is no interest being paid or low interest being paid. We offer 4.75% rate of interest on your gift city account, which is placed in USD or Euro account only. This again, the rate of interest is paid on a monthly basis. Money is 100% liquid like a savings account. You can use it any point in time. Interest will be paid on the daily balance that is available. So you have a liquidity in your savings account, plus use the money at your disposal. Thirdly, coming on to the business account, we understand a lot of challenges in the business account. We offer, again, there are 40 odd charges that any bank charge you on your current account. We offer zero charges on your current account as well. There are 40 odd charges which charged by every bank in your account with IDFC Bank. With certain balances that you maintain, you will have a zero charge on the current account. So any event management company, look at your debit side of your current account. You see a lot of charges there. You will not have any charges with our current account. We also offer something called as a fixed deposit in your current account. You can set your limit. Somebody has maintaining a balance of 10 lakhs into the account. You choose a cap that after 5 lakh, let the money go to the fixed deposit. That fixed deposit will be booked at 6.75%. There is no penalty when you liquidate that particular fixed deposit. Thirdly, we have a startup. SearchKar is a startup event. SearchKar as a startup event, we will have something called the startup offering, where in 3 years there is no balance requirement into the account. So any company which is a startup duly registered with DPIIT, there would not be balance requirement in this account. There is no charges into this account. We have something called as a startup program, wherein we take that particular starter to the investor community, to the incubator to train, handle that particular starter. They can give a pitch. You can raise a fund through the investor. All this is done through IDFC First Bank Startup account. Lastly, we also offer a BBG. If anybody needs a working capital, we offer a working capital limit, secured, unsecured, hybrid. We also offer the transaction in an international space. Anybody wants to have an import-export business or any international transaction, we have a absolutely zero transactions WB account that is offered to our client. Okay, we do also offer a capital account transaction, ODI investment that happens from the overseas country to our country. We do a FDI investment also. All these transactions are monitors taken care by a dedicated relationship bank from IDFC First Bank. I'm just rushed to this particular offering. We can happy to talk to you individually. If given an opportunity, we can drop in at your place and we can talk more about the product and services of IDFC First Bank. Thank you so much once again. Thank you so much for giving me the opportunity.